everybody, my name's Kim, I'm Purse Trippin', and today we have a little bit of a different video for you guys, something that I thought you'd be really interested in. I know I am, and I'm assuming that I have lots of viewers that would be interested as well. I've introduced many times my son Kyle. This is my oldest son, and he is the face behind my YouTube channel. He's the one that gave me inspiration to make this channel years ago. He knew I love handbags. He was like, Mom, why don't you go ahead, give yourself a try on YouTube, you know? And I thought, no way, there's no way I'm gonna be the one in front of the camera. I'm the behind the camera kind of gal, but here we are, we're doing this thing, it's working great. So my son is amazing. He has lots of little niches and really cool things about him, and you guys don't really get a lot of time to have time with Kyle, any airtime. So here he is. This is my son. This is my oldest son, Kyle, and we're gonna do sort of a little interview type with him because he has some really cool things going on in his life. One being a really cool podcast. And so I thought maybe I'd answer or ask a few questions and he can answer them for you. And maybe we can just get a little bit of extra oomph going over there to his podcast, maybe some more subscribers, because it's super interesting. He's got some really great topics and great people he has on his show. So I'm just gonna stand here and ask him a few questions, and yeah, so go ahead and let everybody know who you are.
Yeah, so like my mom said, I have a podcast that I've been doing for a while. It's called We're Just Kidding. It's on many different platforms that we'll get into throughout the rest of the video. But the reason that I'm coming on to this show is just to get a little bit of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Clout? Exposure?
Well, exposure, right. I'm looking for a little bit of exposure because I feel like I have really good quality content. Right now, the podcast is audio only, so if you're driving or you just do things throughout the day, cleaning, whatever, and you want something to listen to, my show is the place to go. I will say, though, it's an adult show. It's explicit. It's not for kids, so if you happen to have little ones around, I wouldn't listen to it while you're driving them to school, just because there's topics that we get into that are definitely not child-friendly. With that being said, we are going to get into a little interview here. These questions are pre-written, but the only reason they're pre-written is so you guys can get a little bit of insight into what I do. So she's going to ask the questions, I'm going to give answers, but I'm going to basically be answering them to you because it'd be as if it was the actual people asking me these questions. So let's get into it.
So firstly, I think everybody would like to know how long you've been podcasting.
Yeah, so I have actually been doing podcasting now for almost a year, so nothing too crazy, but I'm 2 seasons in. I'm actually almost at the end of season 2. And what I planned on doing was if season 2 went well with my viewership, I'm going to turn it into a full-on production, and it's going to be a audio and visual podcast. Kind of like the ones that you see that are already out there right now. Most people like the visual part more than just listening. So I'm going to bump that up, and I'm hoping that my exposure here will help people actually get interested in taking a listen, because we do have interesting concepts.
It makes it so nice to see visual, to see
the
face
to actually
behind
be
the
talking
podcast.
to people.
I personally, as in the older generation, just because in my 50s, just have always had visual along with the hearing. So the visual, just putting a voice behind the podcast and a face, it just makes it so much more.
Yeah, especially if you're trying to express something, actual visual expression is a lot more intense than just audio.
Exactly.
So
what is your show? What are your podcasts about? Subjects?
So mainly, like I said, it's explicit. So a lot of the time, it's about psychedelic experiences and just kind of general chat while smoking a little bit. It's nothing that's crazy. We don't talk about any drugs whatsoever. We talk about conspiracy theories. We talk about like ghost crazy, like paranormal stuff that you find, UFO sightings that are around the world that are unexplained. People come on the show and they bring their own experiences of life. Depending on whatever they do for day-to-day living, you kind of get an insight on their jobs and the things that they deal with and the people they talk to. And we have a lot of really great people coming on the show. Matter of fact, we actually have a very special guest coming soon. He is a three-term Iraq or Afghanistan veteran for the United
Wow.
States Marines.
Wow.
He has crazy stories. He's a dear friend of mine. I met him through my job. He's actually my supervisor. But he is probably one of the most badass dudes that I've ever met. And I think he's going to do really good on the show. And it's not an episode you want to miss if you're into veterans and war stories and stuff like that. It will be viewer discretion is advised, but it'll be a good one.
Yeah, one thing I'm going to throw out there is my son, like he said, it is going to be not for kids. So you're going to have an open mind and an open heart for when you do watch these things. Criticism is not allowed on my channel. So you're definitely going to have to be open-minded and accepting of these amazing podcasts he's going to put out there. I would say a lot of them are not for the faint at heart and definitely not for children. But hey, you know what? If you guys really want some interesting listen, and then hopefully you'll have some viewing as well,
Yeah.
I would absolutely, definitely go and subscribe.
Definitely. And keep in mind, I'm an adult. My mom raised me with manners and respect. I have those things in my day-to-day life. But the point of my podcast is to be completely transparent, completely vulnerable, and really dive into people's lives and the things that they have to say, including myself, because I know there's a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about throughout my experience of life, and now I'm doing that through my platform. So I wouldn't be sending any criticism or shade to her because I live on my own as an adult. I mean, I am with my father, but I don't live here, so it's a different situation. Please refrain from blaming her for anything because I've heard it all, but I do have respect and I know what to and not to say. But I do have my opinions. And that's hard for people to listen to.
And in respect to that, what you're doing is what so many people won't do. They're delving into the real and giving real, true opinions, whether it's liked or not liked. It's true, honest opinions, and it's real life. It's not some sort of shade he's trying to hide. He's just literally digging in, going, this is what's happening, this is what's being seen, like it or not, this is what it is, and I'm very proud of him for doing that.
And on top of those conversations, we have it segmented so it's very show-oriented as well. So, news time, sports news, we even have trivia time, which is what I call it legit or BS, but you say the full word. And many other segments that I'm creating. Funny stuff. I like to keep it funny. But again,
He's hilarious, you guys. If he starts getting into the funny, he has always been the clown. The clown of my three kids. Yeah. He's the clown. He is the entertainer. He's the musician. He's the clown. He's a wonderful, wonderful guy. You guys got to take a listen.
It's worth it.
So, who would you say is your inspiration?
Definitely would have to say 2 or 3 different shows. Number 1, I structure my show a lot like Heidi and Frank on 95.5 KLOS, how they have Get the Fake Out, Florida or anywhere else, where it's just these funny segments. And I just really like the way that they run their show, just one-on-one, funny comedy, off the cuff. They can say whatever they want, and it's on the actual radio that's regulated. The difference is my show is not regulated whatsoever, so it's kind of a bit more off the cuff, and it's uncut. There's no edits. If somebody says something that's really bad, unless it's incredibly racist, I won't cut it. So
because you're real.
Because I want it to be transparent.
Exactly.
Oh, and sorry, there's 2 others.
No,
that was Heidi and Frank.
Yeah.
The other one is Flagrant with Andrew Schultz. He has actually kind of almost like a Jimmy Fallon style podcast thing. And last but certainly not least, the biggest one that everybody knows about, Joe Rogan podcast.
Mm.
Huge podcast, but I love the topics that he goes on, and I love his style of chill. And people love him. You know, he's UFC. He's just a great guy. You may have a different opinion about him, but those are my 3 biggest inspirations for sure.
Great. So, do you have any future plans or goals that you'd like to share?
Yeah, actually. I plan my 10-year plan from now, so when I'm about 36, I plan on having my show at a point where it's my sustainability for income. I'm not the type of person that wants to live a life where you have to work a 9-to-5 every day and go make money for somebody else. I want to make my dreams happen, not somebody else's. So by doing my own show, I have my own control over my own show and the path that it may take me. And who knows what could happen? You know, the sky is the limit.
Exactly.
So for sure, yeah. 5-year plan, just getting to the point where I can probably have my own radio show. going from podcast to actual maybe like AM radio or something.
So how long actually have you been doing podcasts?
So since September 22nd last year,
Okay.
2022.
Okay, great. So what platforms is your podcast able to be found?
So you can find my show on Amazon Music, Spotify, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio. Spotify is going to be literally we're just kidding. In this video and this video only, my link will be in the description. You're not going to find it on any other Purse Trippin' videos because that's not what our channel is about. It's just this video. You're going to see the link. Please go ahead and click on it. It's going to take you straight to my Spotify for Podcasters page. And from there, you can actually click. There's a link that shows all the platforms. You can choose which one you want to listen to. And yeah, I mean, we're growing steadily. We have 9 countries that listen to the show right now.
That's
9.
awesome.
We're gaining 1 country every couple weeks.
Can you, by any chance, remember any of those countries off the top of your head?
I can remember some of them. So we have, obviously, the U.S., UK, Sweden, Mexico, Kenya.
Wow. Canada?
Canada. And then there's 2 more. I forget the other 2, but there's 2 more.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, we have a 90% male audience, but
Well, now,
we'll have more.
ladies, this is your chance. We need to get some estrogen going over there. So make sure you check out his podcast because they are awesome.
Yeah, they are.
So I'm wondering, are there any podcasts that you would love or dream of being on? Anybody,
shoot.
any persons, any, just if you were to just go, man, if I could just be on this one person's podcast.
Yeah, like I already said, it'd be Joe Rogan. But I feel like that's every podcaster's dream is to go on Joe Rogan. If not Joe Rogan, Flagrant. For sure, Flagrant.
You'd be great on those.
Flagrant's such my style. And Andrew Scholes is hilarious, so yeah. Definitely.
Right.
If you know Andrew Scholes in person, anyone watching, send him a message.
So why do you think my fans should subscribe to you?
Because it's just a good time. I mean, the percentile of like bad to good, it's so much better than you would actually expect. And like I said, I have great audio quality too, so it's crystal clear. And the stuff that I come up with, I write my own shows, but they're not scripted, if that makes sense. I have entire ideas of how I want the show to go, but I'll go off of basically who's on the show. I tailor my every single episode to the guest. So, for example, when I get the Marine on, it's going to be very military-esque, and we're going to talk a lot about very, very touchy subjects.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really big on talking about politics, but if we may dive into a little bit of government conspiracies, because a lot of guys in the military see the stuff firsthand. So
Wow.
I would really like to talk about the things that he had to do while in Afghanistan.
Oh, wow.
And the things he had to go through with the government, because he has some top secret stories that he is even hesitant to tell me, but I know he'll go on the show and tell it.
Wow.
So it's always something different. Every episode is something different, somebody different, and if I can't get somebody, I do a solo episode.
Which is super, super important. I really, really need you guys to go check out Kyle's, I'm not even allowed to say the word on YouTube because I will get dinged for it, but
Kyle's show?
your not your show, your suicide episode.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even allowed to
the
say that word
unaliving
here.
awareness. You
Yeah,
can say that.
aliving awareness.
Unaliving awareness.
Unaliving awareness. I don't even know what the words to use. We have to be so careful here. That's
Yeah.
why you guys need to go check out his podcast.
Yeah, you go over there and
you're gonna hear the
don't have
real
to worry
stuff.
about that. But I made a whole thing dedicated to.
And I so
to
badly
those.
wanted to share this one episode, and I couldn't because it's not allowed on YouTube. So because of that, I feel it's so important for people to get the word out on these topics that Kyle has. And I can't do it here, okay? Even if I could, I would. I cannot do it here. So please, just, you got to check out his topics. They are awesome.
It's good
Awesome.
stuff. It's good stuff.
Yeah. How often do you do podcasts?
So right now, trying to upload once a week. Sometimes I miss a week. Like this week, I'm going to be missing because I'm actually here doing this. I'm going to try to do one. Actually, the day that we're recording this video, I'm going to try to get one out. But as of right now, I don't have anything ready to go. So I'm not real big on just hitting record and going off the cuff. even though that's kind of what the show is all about. I like to have a little bit of structure, not really scripting, but structure.
I think that makes it better.
Yeah, it makes it way better, and for the listener's perspective, it makes it a lot better. My episodes usually are anywhere from, most of the time, from 40 minutes to an hour and a half, except for our very, very first episode, which was recorded on a laptop and an old microphone I had in my room. And now we're at a point where I have an entire unit, which she got me for Christmas, actually, a ridiculously expensive unit that I can have up to 6 people on the show with a phone call going on the show, and I have soundboards, and it's a whole show. I have music and everything. I cannot stress enough that you would probably really enjoy it if you're somebody who's open-minded and just ready to let things go. And if you yourself want to be on the show and have stuff to get off your chest, if you're like, you have a husband that you want to divorce but don't want him to know, send him over. You can come over to my show. You can talk about how much you hate the guy all on the show, and he's not gonna know because nobody really listens to the show yet, except about 100-something people an episode. But that could go up. That could go up, and
it's going to. It's going to, for sure.
Yeah, and I wouldn't make a video like this if I wasn't confident in you guys, because you take care of her well, and I know anybody who's a friend of hers, a friend of mine, even though we're family. So
I actually have a request as well, and I think this would be super great if you guys in the comments below would put something that you would like Kyle to do a podcast on, because that way he can have more content. And if you'd like to be a part of it or not, either way, just do me a favor and drop some comments down below this video and just come up with a subject title that you would like to hear. He'll make it happen for you.
I will. I ask everybody every time I have my show. I'm like, please, feedback. I just don't get any. You can go to my Instagrams. You can DM me on my We're Just Kidding Instagram. And just let me know things, and I will make your episode dreams come true.
And if you want to be mentioned in it, great. If you don't, great. You can
be anonymous.
Yeah. Like it could be. And I promise you, if you want to just private message him on his Instagram, I won't even know who you are and what your subject is, because I do know quite a few of you. So if you have something very personal that you really need help with, you really need to share, and you just don't feel like you have the outlet, this can be it for you. So private message him, even with a different name, anything you want, and he'll get that message out, and then it'll be there for you to listen to. Maybe you'll get answers. Maybe you'll have, different perspective on what your question might be. And Kyle can help you with that.
Absolutely.
So I have another question for you. Oh, actually, as we're almost coming to an end here, is there anything else that you'd like to share with everybody today?
Yeah, so aside of the actual podcast, if you guys have been watching this channel for as long as forever, then you would have seen last August she posted a video that said Rebel J live show. That video did well, a little over 1,000 views. We are actually still going. We've been on kind of like a slow build up right now, because my bandmate's a realtor, and he's trying to finish stuff in real estate and get money, while it's just been busy for all of us. Like, we're just going through a lot with jobs and trying to excel in our personal life too. But coming soon, we are in the middle of filming a music video called Headlights.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a really good song, and all of our songs are clean. Has nothing to do with my show.
Your guys' music's really good.
Yeah.
We went to one of their little bands. Was like a meetup, a band, little concert type of what it was. It was like
It was a concert. It was a full show we put together.
Yeah, it was
with 4
awesome,
bands.
and they were really good. I actually have clips on it here, and I actually have some Instagram pictures of it. But Rebel J and my son, I'm very, very proud. He's an amazing drummer. So,
we have 14 more songs that we're going to be coming out with. So
awesome.
we're dropping a 5-song or 6-song EP kind of deal, and then an album.
Awesome.
And then shows. Then we'll be doing shows wherever we can get a show, honestly.
Love it.
But instrumental issues at the moment for both of us.
Well, you're a busy guy. You work a full-time job. You're doing your podcast. You're trying to do your band. This guy doesn't let grass grow under his feet. So let's give him a little help. Give him a little respect, you guys. Just go, and I'm going to link below. I'm going to link his Instagram, his podcast, anything that you'll want to be able to get a hold of him, even personally. We don't give away phone numbers and things like that, but It's going to be very easy for you to contact him and follow him, and you won't be sorry.
No, you won't. I can guarantee it. And if you ever want to shout out, you let me know.
That's right. Super proud of my oldest boy here, and I know you guys will absolutely love everything he has to share. So be sure, check downtown there. We got all of the links that you're going to need. And I thank you, Kyle, for coming on. And thank everybody for listening and viewing, and hopefully we'll just love to see those numbers go up on all of his social media and his podcasting, okay?
And remember, stay open-minded, and everything we say on my show, we're
right.
just kidding.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you on the next video.
Peace.
Bye, guys.